Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to McAD's Entertainment. I'm your host as always, Adam McGahee. In our latest video, we covered the comic book origins of the character Shang-Chi from the upcoming Marvel film, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is slated to release this September. In today's video, we'll be covering the comic book origins of the film's villain, the Mandarin, who will be portrayed by actor Tony Leung Chiu-wai. While the Mandarin may sound familiar, given that is who Iron Man 3's villain Aldrich Killian revealed he was not being entirely truthful, and this one in the upcoming film has been the true Mandarin all along. From the trailers so far, it has been revealed that Tony Leung's Mandarin is not only the film's villain, but also father of the protagonist Shang-Chi. So this version is a bit of a mix from the comic Shang-Chi's father Fu Manchu, and of course the comic version of the Mandarin. We covered the fate of Fu Manchu in our Shang-Chi Origins video, so without further ado, let's hop right into the comic book origins of the legendary comic villain, the Mandarin. Who is he? The Mandarin is a human male born in China who made his first appearance in Tales of Suspense number 50 back in 1964. He is a descendant of Genghis Khan. His father was also one of the wealthiest men in mainland China, and his mother was an English noblewoman. Both of his parents died soon after his birth, not long before the Chinese Communist Revolution. He was therefore raised by his aunt, who was bitter against the world and basically raised him to be the same way. Every cent of his parents' money was used to train the young boy in science and combat, but by the time he was an adult, the money ran out and he was evicted from his home by the government. In an attempt to avenge himself against the government that rendered him homeless, the Mandarin proceeded to explore the Forbidden Valley of Spirits, a location that no one dared set foot in for centuries. It was here that he discovered the remains and spaceship of the dragon-like alien Axon Kar from the planet Maklu 4. It was on the ship that he discovered the mysterious 10 rings that powered it. The Mandarin discovered that each of these rings had special powers and abilities. He then dedicated several years of his life to learning this alien technology and mastering the power that the rings held. He then proceeded to channel the spirit of his ancestor Genghis Khan and became a conqueror himself. He began taking over parts of China and became such a threat that the Chinese military was threatened by his mere presence. The Mandarin then started a conquest of world domination and built quite the technological empire for himself. One of his popular tactics would be to turn the weapons and computers of world nations against themselves. This eventually led him to target the spy planes and missiles built by none other than Tony Stark. This would cause Tony to don his iconic Iron Man armor and journey to China to combat this threat. This would set off an intense rivalry, making the Mandarin one of Iron Man's top villains in the comics. He would proceed to do battle against the Avengers members and even form his own Avengers team over the years. He would eventually meet his end after teaming up with Baron Zemo to lead a Hydra group. The Punisher tracked the Mandarin down as he was giving a speech at the United Nations and proceeded to fire a special bullet. The Mandarin tried to use the power of the 10 rings to slow the bullet down, however, it still managed to strike him in the head, thus ending his life. And that is a very brief summary of the Mandarin in Marvel Comics. As mentioned previously, the film version seems to be a fusion of the comics version and the character of Fu Manchu from the Shang-Chi comics. He is a menacing adversary with the power of the rings and his master of Kung Fu, and I truly wonder what his future in the MCU will look like. I honestly hope he is not just introduced in this movie and killed off towards the end. I hope either Shang-Chi is able to convince him to join the side of good and become a hero, or survive the inevitable beatdown he is going to get and resurface as an even worse villain. Back in Phase 1, Marvel did have a tendency of killing their villains very quickly, but I hope now they freshen things up and let villains like this be fleshed out over more movies. Regardless though, the more I find out about Shang-Chi characters, the more I am excited for this film. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Did you know this about the Mandarin? Was there something I missed? What other Marvel characters would you like to see us cover? Sound off in the comments. Also be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon to be notified of all of our latest videos. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you are awesome and loved, God bless, and I will see you in the next one.